Being somebody that reviews these drones on YouTube, I'd like to think I've got a pretty decent grasp on how things work. Now, I do get quite a lot of messages from people asking either for help or general tips and advice. Now, one question I have been asked recently is when it comes to return to home modes, preset or optimal, which one of these should you be using and which one is the safest? Now, for all of the years I've been making videos on my channel, I have pretty much given the exact same answer. However, that might not be quite as straightforward as it always was, because recent technological advances on these DJI drones have really changed things up a bit. So in this video, I'm going to explore the return to home modes and ultimately show you by the end of this video which one of these I recommend you should be using. So let's get into it. Now, before we can answer which of these modes is the safest, we need to understand generally how return to home works and what's available to us, because DJI drones have got 3 return to home scenarios. The first one is smart return to home. That is basically user activated by yourself, either pressing the button on the controller or tapping the return to home on the DJI Fly app. This essentially brings the drone all the way back to the home point. The second one is low battery return to home, which is triggered when the drone calculates it's got just enough battery remaining to safely make its way back to the home point. And finally, there's fail-safe return to home, which occurs if the drone loses connection between itself and the controller. Now, the ultimate end game of all of these scenarios is to get this drone safely all the way back to you, hopefully in one piece. However, the way that it goes about executing this return to home is determined by a setting that you set in the DJI Fly app. You've either got preset return to home or optimal return to home. So let's start with preset return to home so you can see exactly what this looks like. Now, when we activate return to home, when it's set to preset, the drone is simply going to first rise up to a predetermined altitude that you set in the DJI Fly app. It's then going to swing its way around and it's going to return all the way back to the home point. Now, the logic behind this is pretty simple. Providing you've set that return to home altitude higher than the tallest obstacle in the area, whether that's trees, buildings, or other structures, the drone should safely clear anything between itself and the home point and be able to come all the way back home. It's the most simple and it's incredibly effective. And actually, it's the one that I have recommended most of the time on my channel. Now, of course, this only works if you have done a degree of pre-flight checking, because of course you need to identify those tall structures in the area with which you're flying. You need to consider the environment with which you're flying in. And of course, this also means that you need to remember to set the appropriate return to home altitude in the DJI Fly app. And that's why I always recommend doing a pre-flight risk assessment. And the one way that I do it is using a piece of software called Drone Companion. Now, Drone Companion is, I mentioned, a website or web app downloadable to your phone, which essentially is designed specifically for drone flyers. It includes a comprehensive pre-flight checklist that can help remind you to identify these obstacles and, of course, check your return to home settings. It's got one of the most detailed weather information tailored to drone flyers of anything that I've seen out there. It gives you wind speeds, wind altitudes, KP index, wind direction. There's even a live precipitation radar. Now, if you are a beginner drone flyer, one feature of Drone Companion I really like is the full flying conditions assessment. The reason behind this is so many new drone flyers just download usual drone related weather apps and they just give you red or green. What they don't realize is you're the one that actually needs to set the parameters. Drone Companion does this completely different, and basically the flying conditions assessment gives you the information as to whether it's safe to fly based on all the parameters that are actually happening in your area or where you're planning to fly. So it's a really, really good tool to hopefully keep you as safe as possible and make sure that you don't lose your drone. Now, when it comes to getting the most out of your drone, Drone Companion even gives you the best settings to use for photo and video based on a few short questions and what you're planning to do or what you're actually planning to shoot, okay? And it even gives you the best safety settings in the DJI Fly app, including what we're talking about right now as to whether to use preset or optimal, because of course, as you're going to find out, that can vary. And ultimately, once you've gone out safely, because you've done your checklist, you've checked the weather, you've got the best settings, you've captured that perfect photo, you can also use Drone Companion to upload it to the Flyspots, where you can actually showcase your work and the app will actually automatically place it on the map using the photo's GPS coordinates. So overall, a great tool, and I will leave a link to that in the video description. Something I've recommended on my channel for a while now, and I just think it's a genuinely good tool. So now we've discovered preset return to home, let's now talk about optimal and how that works, because it does things a little bit differently. You see, what happens with optimal return to home is rather than the drone actually rising up to that predetermined altitude you set in the DJI Fly app, what it does is it actually returns to home at its current flight altitude, thus using its obstacle avoidance sensors to actually detect any obstacles and navigate their way around them. And that basically raises an important question. That important question is, how much do we trust the obstacle avoidance on these drones? Because whilst it is absolutely exceptional in most cases, there are certain scenarios where it can fail. When you've got small twigs, or when you've got, I don't know, telephone lines, for example. We have seen situations where the drone has failed and it still hit objects. So the question is, in that return to home scenario, should you be using optimal, or should you think about still using preset? Now, before I give my answer as to which one I would recommend, there is something we need to add into the discussion, and that's of course the environment with which you are flying in, because of course that can dramatically affect the behavior of the drone. Now, of course, if we're flying in open fields, beaches, with very few obstacles, the reality is either of these options are probably going to get you back absolutely no problem at all. However, if we switch up that scenario, start flying in a built-up area, suddenly you've got trees, you've got telegraph poles, you've got power lines, you've got high-rise buildings. The scenario changes quite dramatically. So often there is actually no one-size-fits-all solution. Okay, so this is probably why you can see over time why I've always tended to recommend just using preset return to home. At the end of the day, it rises up above any obstacles, comes all the way back down, it's safe, it's predictable, and ultimately you know exactly what the drone is going to do. Now, everything we've discussed so far pretty much assumes that all drones are created equally, and that is simply not the case, because as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, recent technological improvements on DJI drones has meant that some of them have got much more technology than other ones, and that basically starts with drones such as this. This is the DJI Mini 5 Pro, and if we just take a look at the front of it, you can see this one is actually equipped with full LiDAR technology, as is the DJI R3S, the DJI Lito X1, and of course the DJI Neo 2. You see, these drones behave in a completely different way because they've got that LiDAR technology. Rather than just relying on its vision sensors, when you fly away from the home point, the drone literally maps its exact route that it has taken on its way out. Thus meaning that if you are in optimal return to home and you click that return to home button, instead of literally just flying a path at the current altitude and hoping to avoid obstacles and using its vision system like the DJI Mini 4 Pro, what the DJI Mini 5 Pro can do, for example, is it can literally map its way, taking the exact route all the way back to its home point. Basically, the idea is that, of course, if it flew out that particular route and didn't hit anything, if it comes round and takes the exact same route back, it's not going to hit anything. And that's just absolutely incredible, okay? And I think that has just taken the technology so much higher. In fact, the technology on these drones is so good, you can actually take off because of that LiDAR sensing where it maps the scenario. You can actually take off with no satellites whatsoever. This is a situation where I took off under a bridge, no satellites. I took off, I flew all the way out in a dark environment, no GPS, and literally hit return to home, and it flew its way all the way back, and it landed pretty much nailed on the exact spot it took off. Absolute incredible bits of technology, okay? But once again, this just relies on your trust in this technology. Is it good to have it? It's absolutely brilliant. But how much do you trust it? That is the real question. And whilst these drones are equipped with some of the best technology in the world, of course we still do see them crash. So ultimately, just to come to the conclusion of this video, okay, because I'm sure you want to hear my thoughts. Whilst we have discovered in this video the 3 return to home scenarios of DJI drones, whilst we've discovered the 2 return to home modes, optimal and preset, which one of these do I think personally is the safest? Even taking into account all of that technology and the incredible performance of some of these drones, for me, I'm actually still going to stick with preset. It can't go wrong, whether it's daytime, nighttime, you're not relying on any sensors, you're not relying on anything. You know, even the DJI Mavic Mini, DJI's first drone, okay, I can put this up in pretty much any single light whatsoever, okay, pitch black, and because it's just relying on its GPS coordinates, and because it's just relying on me as the operator being diligent enough to check the area with which I'm flying in, basically I know what the drone is going to do precisely. I'm going to rise above all those obstacles and come all the way back down as safely as possible. Whilst I've done some absolutely incredible tests using LiDAR, obstacle avoidance and return to home with these drones, my preference is to stick with preset. What do you think about my recommendation? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So hopefully, if you was unaware of these drones' capabilities, I've explained them thoroughly enough so you now have a better understanding, and you can now see how incredible the technology has come from this one, the first Mini, to this one, the latest Mini. So yeah, please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, like I've just mentioned. If you want to watch more content just like this, hit that subscribe button, it really does mean a lot, and of course, hit that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm more people just like you might want to watch my content. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.